Hi everyone, this is Bev here, Clarko Vision, and this video, as the title suggests, is going to be showing, it's an update video and it's going to show my latest acquisitions from both Christmas presents, what I used with the remainder of my, what I bought with the remainder of my Christmas money, and some January sales, and a couple of online bargains that I spotted. So I just want to round all this up. Now I'm going to show quite a few things here. It seems like I've got loads actually, and therefore you might think I must have spent a fortune, but in reality quite a lot of what I'm going to show were Christmas presents here, and the other ones, most of the rest, they were all sale prices, and so I didn't pay the full price, which I'm quite glad about. There's just a couple, I think there's about 3 that I just paid the standard price for, and 2 were 2019 releases, late ones, and what was the other one? I can't remember, I'll get to it when I come to it, but I think there was about 3 that were standard price, and the rest is all gifts and sales. So I wanted to just clear all this up, because once I get this out of the way I can put everything on the shelves, and then I can pull out my 2019 stuff to do a review on that, which is the next plan, hopefully, for the next video. So first up, so I said Christmas presents, and that's correct. Jim Davies, as you may have seen in a previous recent video, the 2 items in the background here, he bought me Running Wild's EP, and although he didn't buy that, I paid for that by myself. He got it for me and sent these 2 together as Christmas gifts. But along with that, he threw in another couple of records for me at the time, and this was one of them. He'd found a copy of this, and so he had put in a note to say, I thought you might like these, and Saxon's Crusader was one that I would have been seeking to try and find. So I was thrilled to get a copy of this. As many of you will know, this is 1984, it's an original pressing. I believe this is a US press, I think. And obviously that's quite a famous cover with the horses and all that on the front. Has the inner, it's a little bit of wear and tear, which is, you know, understandable, but overall in decent condition. And there is the bright pink Carrere label on the record. So Jim, that was magic. I haven't played it yet, but I will be doing that, because yeah, this was another one of the Saxons I was keeping my eye out for. And the other one he sent me was, now in a previous VCLT he sent me, it was on my wants list, and I wanted the 30th anniversary of Europe's Out of This World, and he sent me it, just like that. And what he enclosed this time is an original pressing from 1988 of the same album, and he had mentioned he'd found it to me and asked if I'd be interested, and I said, well, yes. I says, this album is kind of a special album for me, and it was one of the first hard rock albums that I ever listened to, and once I was getting into the rock music side of things. So to have an original of this is always going to be very appealing. The inner sleeve, I think it's basically just like the reissue was like this, I think. So this one is just black vinyl. I know there was some issued on red vinyl at the time in the original pressings, but that really, I'm not too fussed. I'm more than delighted to have the black vinyl, and it's on that classic epic label. So So we popped these in with the Running Wild and the Powerwolf, and honestly I was very pleased. And so the rest of the story, just bear with me a second, regarding Jim was, prior to him sending that package, he'd posted up another package for me, one that he'd said he'd been working on for a while, and he posted that around about, I don't know, the 12th, 10th of December or something like that. However, I only got it on Wednesday, just back there. Now, I could have done an opening on the video, but I decided to just open it in private and just take my time with it that way. And I don't know, I just don't know what to say to this man, except that all I can keep saying to him is thank you, because he sent me another bunch of stuff, and again, I felt quite overwhelmed about it, and he's just, you know, he's pretty special. I've never known anybody like him, I have to say. He's certainly a rare breed, that's for sure. So obviously the plan for that package was I was supposed to hopefully get it before Christmas, but it never happened. It spent about 16 days sitting in the customs office while no doubt the staff all sat and ate their turkey and stuff like that. But that's by the by. So it came, and so I'm going to try and show you them in the order, or the rough order that I took them out the box. First thing that was in it was a CD, and this is a band. Now I think the band's name, what's the name of the band? You see, because I looked at it and I thought, okay, I'm not sure if the band is called Change of Heart or if the band is called Last Tiger. So, this one, it's basically, the band is one of these names and the album is one of these names. I've never heard of them before. Jim put it in, he thought I might like it, so it was brand new and sealed. I've just taken it out the shrink so I can show you what the CD looks like inside. So that was one he sent me, and it's a 2016 on Escape Records, or Escape Music. The next thing I pulled out was this. Now he knew I had a copy of this because he saw me showing it in a video, and I'd come across this last year. It was another decent quality find of last year, I suppose. And so I thought there can only be one reason why he sent me this, and I was right, because this is the red vinyl version. The one I got before was just the black vinyl, but so many of them have been pressed on the red as well. Now this is the Def Leppard First Strike EP, which is completely unofficial, not endorsed by the band. It's an EP containing 4 tracks, 4 of the demo tracks that were on the unofficial album First Strike, which I also have. So yeah, and you can see on the back it says unreleased demos, and there was only 1,000 of them pressed. Now I don't know if that was 1,000 altogether, black and red, or if it was 1,000 red and 1,000 black. But it says the same thing on the other one I have as well. So he sent me that, and you know, that was just unbelievably amazing. You'll notice on the label also, because it's totally unofficial, they put Blind Tiger as opposed to Def Leppard, to avoid any copyright infringements, I think, when they, whoever it was, pressed these things. So yeah, brilliant stuff. So it's demos for 1978 of Glad I'm Alive, Wasted, Heat Street and See the Lights. Excellent tracks. Far better than 2015 Def Leppard, or whenever the last thing came out. So again, I was amazed, you know, I was astonished. And then the next two I pulled out, he'd found at a flea market, and he knew I was interested in checking out more Blue Oyster Cult, so this was in it. This one is Tyranny and Motivation, Mutation, but I can barely read that. Tyranny and Mutation. Now I don't know if this is a debut or where this album comes in Blue Oyster Cult's catalogue of releases, but this is 1973, and it's quite worn, but the record itself is great. Again, the inner's a bit worn, but it's the original inner, and this is on Columbia, and it's black with red. I was going to say I've never seen that before, but I have seen that kind, the red with the black, but not the black with the red. So yeah, that was very cool. Because Blue Oyster Cult, one of these bands where I've known they've been around, but Don't Fear the Reaper was, basically as far as it went for me when I was younger, and I just never got around to checking out any more of their music until now, I guess. And this was the next one, Blue Oyster Cult, The Revolution by Night. So this one is 10 years later, 1983. Again, this also has the inner, which is kind of exciting on that side. There we have, and again it's on the Columbia. That's the more familiar colouring, with the yellow writing this time on the red label. So brilliant stuff. I mean, these records are in great condition. So and so that was that, and then the next one I pulled out. So this weighs a bit of a ton. And then I discovered it was a double LP. It's on a gatefold sleeve, and this is what I pulled out: Iced Earth and The Glorious Burden. I'm just going to move this camera slightly. I don't think that's going to do any good, to be honest, but I haven't moved the camera, I've just moved the window on my screen. So Iced Earth and The Glorious Burden. This is on Steamhammer, and it's a 2004 original press, which I'm thinking, God, that couldn't have been too easy to find. So and that's the inside. We've got all these kind of war style pictures. I'm assuming this is to do with it looks like a concept album all about some kind of war back in the history of time. And you've got inner sleeves with lyrics and credits. The other one is the same, or very similar, shall we say, and it's on black vinyl. Quite heavy duty. It may be 180 or 150, but they have custom labels, which are dead smart. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, I know Iced Earth, and I have heard the odd song or two of theirs, but I've never been that familiar. So it's a band I'm not sure if I'm going to like. They do have power metal elements to them. I think they have a few different elements to them, I believe. So I'm quite interested to checking out these albums just to see. And I believe John Schaefer, he seems to be the mainstay that's been with the band since they began, and I think they began back in the 80s, to be honest with you. I've never heard of them then, but they have changed other personnel, and on this album you've got Tim Ripper Owens as, now was he the one who temporarily took charge of Judas Priest when Rob departed? And I haven't heard any of the Judas Priest albums with him on it, so you know, So this, I'm not too familiar with his singing, but yeah, I mean, I was really thrilled to get a hold of this. This is unreal. So maybe if I just do that slightly, that might work out better. So after that, the next one, now this was still in the shrink, this one was sealed. And again, it was heavyweight, and I pulled out another Iced Earth. Again, double LP, and this is called Framing Armageddon, and underneath it says Something Wicked Part 1. So there must be a Something Wicked Part 2 in relation to this, like a sequel. Look how cool the artwork is there. So again, it's an album I don't know anything about. I don't know if it's another concept album. It kind of looks like it might be on Steamhammer again, and this pressing is 2007. And this one was brand new in the shrink. I mean, look at that, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Sorry about the glare, people. So yeah, I'm quite excited to check these guys out. And they both have inners with lyrics and credits again. Some nice artwork. And again on heavyweight black vinyl with custom labels, and there we have it. So that was brilliant, superb. And so the next one after that, I'll just sit that there at the moment. This one was one that I had put on my wants list, and again this was sealed, still in the shrink wrap. I've just taken this out this afternoon and you know, put in the poly sleeves that I like, and this one was on my wants list, as I say, and it's Hammerfall and Renegade. So this is one of their earlier albums. Not their early albums, but this is a reissue of a 2010 album, I believe, and it's on Back on Black for 2019, this reissue. Renegade, haven't heard this one before, but it was one I had put down. I mean, quality artwork as usual. So yeah, it's another gatefold, although this is just a single album. There is the band. Hammerfall, you might be aware, some people have shown this year's, last year's latest, which is Dominion here. And apparently this was on a grey splatter, grey with blue and white splatter, I think. Very fancy. I've not had a grey record before, so there's not so much splatter on that side, but yeah, interesting. So I was again thrilled when I was seeing what was arriving here. I'll just slot that there just now for quickness. And then I pulled this out and I thought, okay, and I saw the corner, and yeah, this could be some kind of promo because of the sleeve, polygram, and lo and behold, I was right. And what it is, it's a 12-inch promotional only, because it says promotional copy not for sale on the label, of Def Leppard's Hysteria, the single, from 1987. So this was an original promo, obviously for US radio, because it is a US pressing on Mercury, and it's got Hysteria on both sides and nothing else, just that track. So, you know, that was excellent to get a hold of that. Just another Def Leppard item that I don't have from back in the day. So that was super cool. Really, I was amazed to get this. You know, and then I picked this out and I thought, well, this feels heavy as well. And this was in the shrink, brand new, unopened, and I pulled out this Def Leppard Vault. Now I've never had this on vinyl. They've just recently issued this on vinyl because I can't remember, it might have come out on vinyl originally, but maybe not. I used to have the CD, and then I recently got the CD from Nathan at Metal Down Under. He sent me it as VCLT, and I thought, oh, it'd be nice to have it on vinyl at some point, but I wasn't hugely in a hurry to grab this, because it's the greatest hits and I've got everything that's on it. And obviously there's a lot of Steve Clark's work on here, but it's a double album, but it's not a gatefold, it's just it's a thicker outer sleeve, so the two records fit inside, and they both have the picture inners. This one has little bits of quotes from band members about each of the songs on it, and a bit of a story about Def Leppard's history. And both of the records inside are on 180 gram black vinyl. So I was really delighted to get a copy of this as well. And I thought that's just going to fill a nice wee hole in my collection of the Steve Clark era, because this contains records, songs from 1980 to 1995, which was at the time when they had released that pile of trash known as Slang. And obviously they'd gone for the simplified logo and all this nonsense as well. But anyway, to have this fab. And at this point I'm thinking, I'm getting amazed at what I'm pulling out here, and I'm thinking, how's he got all these records? And they're all new, all these double albums. And so the next one I've pulled out is this, Def Leppard Vault. And he's got a post-it note saying gold vinyl, gold metallic vinyl. And right enough, it's the same when you look at it, but it's got a limited edition barcode on the back. And again, it's in the shrink. I still got this one in the shrink. I just split it to have a look at the gold vinyl, and I'll just show you one of them, obviously, because the sleeves are the same. But this one is that kind of supposed to look gold. It kind of is and it isn't, depending on how the light catches it. But there you go. So this is obviously limited in gold. I know here in the UK, I think the HMV had an exclusive colour, which I think was clear vinyl gold. It was either silver or clear, something like that. But I never picked it up at the time. As I say, I had other things, that were in front of wanting to pick this one up. But for Jim to just, to get me both pressings, I can't, I don't know what to say. So, and so I'm sitting here, and at this point my mum had popped by my room, and I said, oh, I'm just opening the stuff, and I'm saying, look at what he sent me. And I says, and I'm not finished, there's still one to come. And I was not expecting this, I really wasn't. To be honest, I thought I would never get it, but this was sealed, brand new and sealed as well. I've taken this out of the shrink because I wanted to look at it. But it's the gold, it's the orange limited edition vinyl of the remastered 2017 30th anniversary of Hysteria on double vinyl, brand new. I have the black vinyl version of this, which I bought, and because I wasn't going to go for this because I was seeing it on eBay and on Discogs and various places, and people were asking £80 and all the rest of it, and I don't know, it's definitely not cheap to get this version. The inner sleeves, it's like the original, but here it is, in transparent or translucent orange vinyl. Def Leppard Hysteria. So yeah, there's 2 of them, 4 sides. And honestly, I know you sent this to John over at Vinylizer, Jim. I really was not expecting this to come my way as well. I really wasn't. But you know, and the thing is, it came on January the 8th, which is it's not the best day in the world for me, because that's the anniversary of Steve's death, but to be opening these and receiving these on that day, just kind of made it a bit emotional for me, but it made me smile, you know, more than what probably normally would have done. So I can't thank you enough, Jim. I mean, this will be treasured. And I'm just thinking, regarding issues, pressings of Hysteria, the album, I think I must be getting on for about 9 or 10 different copies of Hysteria. But you know, I'm over the moon to have this on orange vinyl. I just never expected to have it. But unreal. So yeah, that was the hype sticker. I'm keeping that, obviously. So that was Jim Davies' Christmas gifts to me, and on the box he put Santa Jim. You know, it was meant as a Christmas gift, and honestly, I'm very, very grateful, Jim. I'm just going to move. Hang on a second. I'm just going to move these out the way for a moment. So that brings me on to, and you know, I'm 26 minutes here. Sorry about that, people. Brings me on to the rest of the stuff. Just roll this on the floor for a moment. Right. Yeah, that'll do for now. So the next bunch of stuff was a couple that I got with some Christmas money and January sales. But before I get to these, I'm going to show you the ones that I just bought kind of standard price, which were the last of the 2019 releases that I was wanting. So, think of, yeah, there it is. Because EMP, I went and ordered this one from EMP's website. They said it was coming in on the 16th of December, and it didn't come in on the 16th of December, so my vinyl was delayed. Therefore, I jumped on to Germany's Amazon and ordered the CD, which was in stock, as was the vinyl. Germany had it quicker. And this is Crystallize, Starborn Traveller, and they are power metal from Sweden. This is the first album of theirs I've picked up. I came across it through YouTube, had a listen, loved it, absolutely great, uplifting quality power metal, and it's on Massacre Records, and it is, according to this hype sticker, their 8th album from the Swedish Mellors, it says. So again, this was one of the full price. The album finally arrived. Here it is, Starborn Traveller, just released last month. Massacre. The vinyl is limited to 300. I think that is 64. I'm not too sure, but I think it's 64. Cool artwork. And the gatefold, it's just a single record, but there's the band and the lyrics, and it's just on black vinyl as well, so nothing overly amazing, it's just standard black. So yeah, absolutely delighted to have this, and I'm probably going to check out some of their earlier works, because I say this is a band I'm new to, but this is a brilliant album. And the other one which I ordered along with it, so this was held up because of Crystal Eyes, is Crystal Viper. again, just released last month, and another band. This is my first album from them. I'm new to these guys as well. Same story, came across them on YouTube, loved what I heard. This is on AFM Records, and it's female fronted. I don't know anything about the band really at the moment, I just know it's female fronted because there she is. And on the record, if you can spot here, that's a bonus LP bonus track, so I'm not sure if this is meant to be on the CD or not as well. If anyone has the CD they can say, but it's a cover of Alone by Heart, their classic ballad from 87 I think it is, and they do a really nice job. It's a nice cover. It's just not Ann Wilson's vocals, which are so powerful, but this lady's vocals are super for this band. She's really got a decent voice. So this is on limited edition blue vinyl. It's like a deep blue, you can sort of almost see through it a little bit. But yeah, 180 gram, and again, they're kind of melodic power metal, I would say. Not really too symphonic or anything like that, just kind of melodic heavy metal, power metal. I can't even recall where they're from, to be honest. But yeah, excellent band. And the third one, yeah, this was the third one I got at full price, because again, this was a late 2019 release, although this one I think was released a wee bit earlier than the other two. And this is by the band Screamer. Highway of Heroes. This is their 2019 release. This band, let me get this right. These guys, I think they're Swedish. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think they're Swedish, these guys. But this is excellent. This is new wave of traditional heavy metal, and this is heavy metal in the traditional, as in the old new wave of British heavy metal style. These guys were influenced by a lot of that era. Cloudy Milder, I would suggest you might want to check this band out. They have about 4 albums, I think. This is the 4th. I reckon there might be something in there that you could like. I would say, I'll probably mention this more in my 2019 video, but I would say that you would probably prefer this to Enforcer's latest. I don't know if you even have that one, but I think you do. But I think you'd prefer that one, this one over that one. So Highway of Heroes, I love it. It's really good stuff. That's the inner sleeve, which is it's a stiff card inner as well, actually. The band, lyrics, and again it's just on black vinyl, quite a plain label. And these are on the there it's there, The Sign Records. It tells you at the top there actually. Yep, The Sign Records. Never really heard of that label before, I have to say. But yes, another band, if you're into your traditional style metal, definitely check them out. The Hype Sticker, this is what I wanted to say. It came in this, not actually shrink wrap, and this was stuck to it, which is the Hype Sticker. Highway of Heroes brings you on a trip into never-ending nights of heavy metal. Screamer's new album is filled with riffs, classic twin guitar harmonies, pounding drums, and big choruses. Classic songwriting influenced by 70s and 80s metal and hard rock. 4th studio album, yeah. So, The Sign Records. So, there you go. Again, they're a new band to me. I like them so much that when I was hunting around, now we get to the January sales and the Christmas money part, that I discovered this at a discounted price. This is one of their earlier albums, Hell Machine. This one's on High Roller Records, and we know how good High Roller are. Brilliant artwork. This one, yeah, it comes in a gatefold sleeve actually. Yeah, the lyrics there in the band there. So you get the gatefold sleeve instead of the inner sheet, but you get your regular High Roller Records list of stuff. And this one comes, yeah, it's like a turquoisey, greeny blue actually. It looks bluer on the video screen than what it actually does here in front of me. But yeah, it's blue. But again, it's really excellent stuff on this album. This one I think has 8 tracks. Yeah, there's 4 songs on each side. Quality stuff. Yeah. I'll just keep going. I know this is 35 minutes, but you can split it in half if you want, or 3/4 and a quarter, whatever. So yeah, the next one I got was one that I had been wanting for a long time. Another 2019 release. No Remorse Records, Riot City and Burn the Night. I used this in my vinyl tag as my homage answer. Now this is a second pressing, this isn't the first pressing because they did a second press run. And you get the collage of band photos and lyrics and credits there. And this limited run, this particular one is red vinyl. So I think it's transparent red again. It's beautiful. Robert, that's Black Star vinyl. Rob, red. I've not had as many red. I think I've picked up more blue than anything this year, to be honest, as far as colour goes. Next in the January sales, another one I've been wanting. This is off my wants list, so I can score it off. Blazing Stone. This was their last release. Again, it's a 2019. But I think this is the last one coming from Blazing Stone. I think the boys kind of pulling the plug on this band for some reason. I don't know if it's lack of promotion or lack of interest or whatever. I'm not really sure, but I don't know why, because I think they're fantastic. They're very much based on Running Wild worship. They're very much a band that pays homage to Running Wild. So yeah, this is the last one from Blazing Stone, and it's on Underground Power Records and Storm Spell. I think the European issues are released through Underground Power, and it's just black vinyl. But yeah, fantastic stuff. The lyrics are on that side. Fantastic. Next January sale, another one off the wants list from the same place. They had a discount running for part of January. This is why I got some of these. And this is Ancient Empire. I've been after a couple of their albums for a while as well. So this, I think, is their latest. This is 2018, this one. And it's Eternal Soldier. I think this is kind of power metal-y. I can't even remember. I think power metal style. Again, Underground Power Records and Storm Spell. Limited edition of 350. This one is number 54. And this is one of the 100 of the 350 that was pressed on green, transparent green vinyl, just with a black label there. And they do the inner sheets quite a similar style for all their bands, just like Blazing Stone and Ancient Empire are on the same label here. So I've not listened to all of these yet, and this is one of them that I've not had a chance to. And the last one, which was an absolute bargain, I spotted on eBay. No, not eBay, Amazon. This was reduced, and it is another Screamer album. I think this was their debut, Screamer's debut. So you can tell I like Screamer now. And this is Adrenaline Distractions, it's called. You can make it out there. Now this is a reissue. This originally came out, I think it was around 2010, but don't quote me. I might be getting confused with another band. But this is a 2016 reissue from High Roller Records again, and it was £12 on Amazon, so I grabbed it. Brilliant stuff. Again, traditional heavy metal stuff. High roller thingy. And this one has the inner, which is a nice thick card. There are your band. Incidentally, the t-shirts, I can make out two of them. He's wearing a Bullet t-shirt. This boy's wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt. And I'm not too sure what the third guy is. Can't make his out. Lyrics. And yeah, this one appears to be on clear. And this is very clear. I've never seen something so clear in all my life, you know. Brilliant stuff. So, another band I recommend. So that's as far as vinyl goes. I have a bunch of CDs. We'll just rattle through them. Might as well. So on eBay, this was the eBay bargain I found. I got both of them from the same seller. And really, I just stumbled across this and leapt on it. But Fury and Fury. This is Fury's first debut EP from 2011. Self-released, there's no record label. And it's a 5-track EP. Fury are kind of new wave of traditional heavy metal. They're a UK band. That is the inside there. And again, traditional heavy metal. And this is their second EP. This one is called Burn the Earth. This one was released through Dawn of Survival Records, and that's the kind of Dawn of Survival logo there. And it says someone in here. You see, there's the British flag there. Remember, it says down the bottom here. I like that. A product of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. I thought that was pretty cool. Just nice to see. So yeah, that's their second EP, which has 4 tracks on it. I don't know how well you can make that out. So I was absolutely thrilled to find these, because I think they're next to impossible to get a hold of now. So this person had them both up, and I got them both for £8. I was so chuffed. And this was on the sale, so I grabbed it. Powerwolf, another one of their albums. This one is Less Than Possessed. I am really loving Powerwolf. I'm getting right into them. German power metal, superb. So yeah, that was Napalm Records, and it's 2015. Fabulous. And last but not least, another eBay find. I've been after this for a while. This is my first album from these guys, and it's Mob Rules. I think this is their debut as well, if I'm right. Mob Rules and Savage Land, and I think that must be an original hype sticker that's on it too. And this is on LMP, Lim Music Products, that's what it stands for. Distributed by SPV as well. This is from 1999. I think it's an original pressing. And there is the picture CD there. So, and this is great. This is, I mean, they're classed as power metal, which they may be now, but I would just regard this as kind of melodic heavy metal, just solid German metal. But it's not the fast, the super fast power metal that you get today. But really some amazing melodic guitar parts in here, really good stuff. I really enjoyed that. Right, so I'm done. So that is my update of everything that I've gathered in over the last Christmas period and January sales and all that jazz. So I'll now be focusing on my 2019 review once I've got all this sorted out. And again, thanks so much to Jim Davies. You'll never know what this means to me. I'm amazed. And thank you all for sticking with me. I know this is 46 minutes. If you've got to the end of this, really appreciate it. I don't know, I guess I just ramble, but I do appreciate your support. So take care everybody, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye bye.